This podcast contains strong language and adult themes.
Date Night China explores life and love for better relationships in China. Every week, we hear from different guests and dive into dating, relationships, mental health, and how both expats and Chinese people connect with each other here in China.
Join the Date Night community through our podcast and events in Beijing and Shanghai, and catch up on all the latest stories on our official WeChat account.
Find our account on WeChat by searching Date Night China, no spaces, no capital letters. You can also join our WeChat group by adding Rachel, me, on WeChat. You can search Rachel Weiss 22, RACHEL WEISS 22.
And now for this week's episode. Sit down, get my wine. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, bloody heck, I'm tired. Right, are we ready?
Ready.
Welcome back, China Daters.
Yeah, welcome back, you guys. We are on episode 4 now.
Episode 4. It's really moving on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going week by week.
Week by
as
week.
weeks go.
As time flies by the crow's nest.
As they say.
That's how they say.
That's what they say.
This might be the last one that we have relative freedom for a little while in Beijing.
I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, if you're in Beijing right now, you know that this week they're testing Chaoyang district. So for 3 times this week, we're going to be tested. Hopefully, we don't have a big lockdown coming like Shanghai.
I don't think it's coming. But also, if you're not in Beijing, like me mum, and you've watched the BBC, then you might think World War III is going to happen and the world's going to end with the supermarkets running out of toilet paper. But we are fine. We're stocked up, aren't we, babe?
Yeah. We're doing good. We're doing okay. I don't know. I feel very lucky in Beijing. We have so many friends in Shanghai, and I have a lot of friends who are posting. They're like in day 40, day 35.
It's just insane.
And it's been mad. So like if you're listening in Shanghai, we're sending you our love and thoughts.
Loads of
and
love.
Other cities. It's been happening in other cities as well besides Shanghai and just not really talked about. So we feel very fortunate for not being in that situation yet. We still have things we can go out. So
and if you are in Shanghai and you want a hobby, start a podcast. If you're going insane, you may as well document it for people's pleasure.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Or you can just go back and listen to Date Night China season 1 and 2.
Ooh, that'd be a good idea also. So DNC, we've been quite busy as well. We had a very popular bowling event, didn't we?
Oh, it was so much fun. We rented out a whole bowling alley. We had around like 60 people come. You could sign up by yourself or with a team. It was awesome. Like, it was such a fun vibe. People were like mixing around or hanging out with their team. We had 2 kegs from Slow Boat. It was really fun. It was just a really nice time. I think we're really looking forward to doing some more events like that this summer, just to have a good vibe, meeting new people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
great.
good. Yeah, it was really good. So join our next event if you're in Beijing.
Indeed. So, Nathan, what have we got for this week's episode? Well, I'll tell you, Nathan. In this week's episode, we're going to talk to 3 expats and entrepreneurs about their media platforms and businesses in China and how their voice and role in building a community and building relationships, that's that word, I'm reading off a script here, influence their lives.
Nobody could tell.
Influence their lives in China.
Yeah, I'm excited about this episode because these are some you have Instagram friends or things like that. So I've grown a lot of friendships through online media, as I'm sure many people have. And some of our guests tonight are people that I've only met because of Instagram, like Dr. Baby, who has a platform and a podcast called Brown Girl in Beijing. And there's another wonderful lady called Kindall, who has a podcast, or actually a web mini-series, and it's called Black and Abroad. So these are 2 wonderful, awesome, powerful ladies.
And they're really great. It's really great content.
Yes,
it's
really awesome.
Fantastic.
And so it was actually my first time really meeting both of them tonight in person.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, Dr. Baby's come to a few of our events before. Yeah, so we've crossed paths. And then Shagi is a really cool guy in Beijing.
Second timer on DNC.
He was on our second season.
Second season.
And he's a really cool guy in Beijing. He's in the restaurant kind of business scene with marketing. We love his restaurant, Larry the Bird.
Yeah, if you're in Beijing or you're coming to Beijing and you have not been to Larry the Bird, that you need to do that, because that spicy chicken burger. Oh my
and
days.
for me, it's like the sauces, like so good. Yeah, it's good. Good.
But this is a great episode. It's so much fun. So much. It's just fantastic. It's a great episode. So enjoy.
Grab a drink and get ready to listen. So, welcome to our guests for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we jump into what we're talking about today, can you guys each tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you're from, what you're doing here, how long you've been in China, and also, most importantly, are you single or in a relationship? Let's start with you over here, Kindall.
Okay. I am Kindall Tyson from Texas. Hello, all my Texas people.
Woo!
I am a therapist. I own my own therapy practice. I'm also a counselor at an international school here. I've been here for, I think I'm completing my 4th year. August 7th is my China-versary. So really, yeah, spreading the news about mental health, connecting people, trying to heal the world. And I am happily in a relationship with myself at the moment. So,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I thought I was in for a surprise, sis.
you and me both.
Okay, Shaggy?
Hey, what's up, podcasters, people listening to this? I'm Shagi Defoe. I am from the beautiful island of Dominica. Yeah, in the West Indies, nature island of the Caribbean. I have been living in Beijing for 16 years. Overall, over here, 18 years. I am part of the team that owns Larry the Bird in Beijing. We operate Larry the Bird under the Migos Group.
Which are really great, like chicken sandwiches,
Oh my
great
God,
chicken in
rotisserie
Beijing.
chicken is everything.
Oh
We
my gosh.
appreciate it, guys. Soon we're going to open our third concept called the Apollo. That will be opening towards the latter end of May. I am in a relationship for the last 12 years. Met my wife and baby moms
Ew.
12 years ago, and we've been kicking it ever since.
Yeah. And you can hear Shaggy on season 2 actually talking with Uli about their relationship.
Oh, yeah.
If you want more
Nice.
juicy details about that.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
we were on that. That was a raunchy podcast.
Honest.
Great. Okay. Shannon.
Hey, y'all. My name is Dr. Shannon Evans. I'm from the beautiful archipelagic nation of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Land of the conch.
Ayo. We are also in the West Indies, the Caribbean, whatever you want to call it. I have been in Beijing for almost 4 years as well. July 25th is my China-versary, I do believe. I work as a teacher. I'm a 6th grade teacher, English teacher at a foreign language school here in Beijing. And yeah, what else do we...
Are you single or in a relationship?
Oh, right, the important question. Single like a dollar bill.
Unless it's in quarters.
All right.
Then it's
Well, you
no
know,
bill,
there was no need for you to jump in. That's why I said a dollar bill.
Commentary.
All right. So Dr. Shannon or Dr. Baby.
Oh,
Can I
yeah.
call you that?
Yes,
Dr.
you
Baby.
can.
We might get
is
into
this
that later about the singleness and what that's like in Beijing. But we're really excited to have you guys all on. You are not just expats here in China. You all are like entrepreneurs and also on your own various media platforms and have your own audiences. And, you know, Date Night China here, we're not only just about the dating, but we'll probably get into that later. But it's also about building relationships with people and finding these communities here in China because that's so important when we're all far away from home. So how have you guys found not just any community, but like-minded communities, people that you can really connect with and bond with? How has that experience been for you here in China and specifically here in Beijing?
That's a good question. And it's a very varied answer. I think one of the natural progressions of connecting with people is at work. But as I've gotten older and more mature, I like to have more strict boundaries. And so I go to work for work. If I happen to connect with people at work that can add to my life, then, you know, things change. But from that, it's really being able to meet new people when you go to events, and the network that we have as Black individuals in Beijing is very strong. So you can meet people through people. That's how I met both of them. It's through other people, common interest. I don't know. I just keep thinking about it. I think some people have been like, oh, I think you would be a good connection for this person. And so they connect us and things like that. Or you just meet somebody. Or if we go somewhere, we see other Black people, it's like, hey, girl, let's see. You never know, but it's always just on GP. If I see Black folks, I'm going to see if we vibe. Right. We might not, but I'm going to try. And just through like creative interest, supporting one another in our communities when we do things. So it's, for me, it's very varied. I just personally like to keep my really strong friendship group small, and high quality. That's something that works for me. But yeah, knowing a lot of people is a good thing too. So it just depends on what you're looking for.
Did you have to change like how you found that or connected? Like you said, maybe you would just go up to people here in Beijing. Like maybe we would get along. Were there also like WeChat groups that you found?
Yeah, WeChat.
Were there certain
sure.
groups that connected you, or like a person, a friend that connected you, and like word of mouth, a friend was like, hey, you should know this friend?
Yeah, that happened. Or people would reach out. Well, there have been lots of people that reached out because they had questions about therapy. And we actually connected. And I'm like, well, I can't be your therapist because we're friends. So that would be unethical.
That's why I get it for free.
Anyway, listen.
It's conflict of
So
interest.
Yeah. How about you guys? So like, how have you met like-minded people and communities here in Beijing?
So yeah, one of the first ways was work when I first got here, because I came for a specific job that was pretty much my life for a while. But in addition to that, and those friends that I've made, after we left that job or that job left us, we remained friends. So that's been nice to have. But also for me, so I'm a Christian and my faith has been super important to me basically throughout my entire life. And that was a concern for me coming here. It's just like, where am I going to go? And found BICF and City Church and the embassy, their young adult ministry. And they had a daytime gathering that was suited for people who had unconventional work hours. So I worked for a training center, which means I worked in the evenings, I worked on the weekends, I couldn't go to church. And so I'd meet on Tuesday mornings, meet with these people. And that helped a lot. People at work noticed that I was happier on Tuesdays because I had just come from that meeting, that gathering. And since leaving that job, or that job leaving us, I've been able to spend more time in that atmosphere, in the church atmosphere. And that's, being able to do that has sort of opened up my circle a bit. And so I've gained a lot more friends that are from all over, but especially I've gained friends that are African American, or also from the Caribbean, or from one of the countries in Africa. And that for me, like, I appreciate, and we talked about, Kindall and I talked about this on the Brown Girl in Beijing podcast, but it's such a beautiful feeling. Like, I love my multi-ethnic friend groups.
Right.
I very much appreciate just all the different things that they have to bring.
Yeah.
And I get to experience so many different cultures, but there is something so electric and magnetic and magical that happens when you have Black people, especially Black women. Like, no offense, like, you cool with me, but like, when Black women come together, it's just so, you don't realize how much you miss it until you get it back. And that's been, I think, really, really nice for me. And I think without that, Beijing would not have been a great place for me. Like, it's cool and all, but having those friend groups has really helped to enhance my experience here. So I'd say church, my old job, and then church are basically the two avenues that I don't like WeChat groups. So
Yes,
I don't find anybody.
Use the mute button often.
No, as soon as I'm added to a group, it's put on mute. As soon.
Healthy boundaries.
Yes.
So
Yep.
otherwise it's nonstop.
Yep.
Yeah. But I heard you echoing that, Kindall, just about like, I mean, you just mentioned like strong Black female friendships. Has that been an integral thing that you were seeking out and especially looking for here in Beijing?
Yes, for sure. just to piggyback off of what Shannon said, being part of a multicultural coalition of people, I think is great, right? And it's a way that I've lived my life for a very long time. However, it's just another level of understanding and camaraderie and safety to have genuine, authentic Black female friendships. We recharge one another. Mm-hmm. We know what it's like to be in the world and to not have the level of support that we give to everyone else. Mm-hmm. So being able to, be creative together, to have fun, to support, shoot the shit, whatever, talk about God, cry, work out, go to art exhibits.
Yeah, sing Babyface.
Right. That was a moment.
It was.
It's necessary, right? And that isn't to deride or exclude anyone, but I'm definitely a firm believer that you got to start at home first in order to be able to give your best to the other people that, enhance your life.
100%. And so how about you, Shaggy? What has been like you building communication or building communities, finding people here?
For me, it's different because I'm kind of a loner. I'm kind of an introvert. Extrovertly introvert. I don't know how to say it.
Who introverted?
I am.
Are you an ambivert? Are you both?
I'm an introvert. I can be outspoken, but I really like to be with myself, but I'm different from these two beautiful ladies next to me. I don't seek out people of my complexion. I've never done that. It happens. If it happens naturally and we're cool, then cool. But I don't know if it's because I'm male and Black girls. I don't know. But for me especially, I've never seeked out brothers in that sense, and they have actually confronted me on it because I would meet them. I would meet on certain things, and then they would add each other and never speak, and they would message me something that I don't think I need to reply to, and I don't, or like the typical. Like nights, everyone is out, I'm home.
Yeah.
So I'm not that type of person. I go to things that interest me, not just because people are there.
Right.
So there's a whole bunch of brothers at this particular venue. I don't need to go there unless I need to go there. Like for me, it's about me, not about them. But in terms of building community, I've always been, since I was a teenager, I've always been interested in other cultures. And I think that's what got me over here to China and exploring Asia. And I love Asia. Like Asia is like I said before, whenever I leave Beijing, I will move to another Asian country, not home or somewhere else. Because I'm fascinated with Asia. And my wife is from Indonesia. And that happened in a way that I didn't expect. I always thought if I were to get married, I would get married to a melanated sister. Mm-hmm. But that didn't happen. And even my wife says, like, you have no Black friends, or you have very little Black friends, or the ones you have, you don't talk to. That is just me. And it's not that I speak to Caucasians or Asians more. I'm just solo. If I need to speak, I will. If we go out, we'll hang. But I'm not just calling you on Thursday, like, what's up? Like, it's not me. I'd rather watch TV and fall asleep on my couch.
Yeah. So specifically looking at the past 2 years since COVID and everything happened like that, have you felt shifts in your communities and in China in general? And also just like, have you felt like the perception of being Black and the Black perception in China has it changed? What has happened since COVID began?
Let me go first.
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you need some more wine? Does anybody need more wine?
Just a little.
For me, in terms of skin color, I haven't felt anything for me. But in terms of life in general, communities, friendships, COVID's messed everything up. COVID is like something like the drunken uncle at the barbecue that just says the wrong thing. And you can't say anything because he's drunk. Even if you said it, doesn't matter. It's like talking to a wall.
You're not going to remember.
Yeah. COVID messed everything up. Like, everything. And not just for melanated folk or Asian folk or everyone. There's no person on the planet that hasn't been affected by COVID in some way or the other. Like, there's always a connection through supply chain or this or that. Like, it's ridiculous. This thing has come and just shaken the world, and we don't know, especially here in China, we don't know when we'll be normal again. There's no timeline. We see the rest of the world for Instagram and we cry, and it's just the state of affairs. But we're alive, we're healthy, and take it in stride. My daughter will be like, learn about this in history books and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, pandemic, baby.
Yeah.
My sister had two.
Ooh.
Yes, they're different.
That was just like, okay, we can't do shit, so this is.
I mean, they're both athletes, so, you know,
Okay.
I don't know. How would I answer that question? I would say when COVID hit, I was home in the U.S., stranded for 9 months. And I love my parents, don't get me wrong.
Oh, boy.
But being an adult
Oh no.
in
That's
your room
That's a real thing.
with anxiety, living in Trump country,
Oh God.
it was a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And
Speak on it.
oh my goodness, it was a lot. So I would start with have like friendships and relationships shifted. Yes. I think that from what I've noticed in myself personally, we've become, I've become more intentional with connecting and reaching out and communicating and trying to hold space for people to just talk, get things out, just to, you know, celebrate and grieve, because it's a lot of, I would say for one celebration, you have a lot of grief. I would say, you know, last year I experienced a lot of death when it comes to people in my immediate family or friends that I've known, especially back home in the U.S. And it was just a really heavy grief year for me last year. And so there's a lot of celebration happening now, and it's really being intentional about creating community, staying connected to people that make you feel seen and safe and supported, and meeting new people. Like, I don't believe that you have to know somebody for years to have a real genuine connection. Like, I know Shannon and I are friends. We haven't known each other for years, but I know that if I needed her, she'd be there.
If I needed banana bread, she would.
Listen,
not be there.
Sundays,
Different
at 6
conversation
p.m.
for another time.
Mental health.
Continue.
Oh my goodness. But I think just because where the state of the world is, it's important to, that's my word for 2022, is intentional. So when it comes to relationships, I've noticed a more intentional shift to do things with people. And I am very extroverted, but I've become more of an introverted extrovert. I don't want to, my energy is precious, right? I don't want to spend it with everyone,
Word.
right? I want it to be meaningful. I want to have fun. I want to be around people that will understand that I'm having a difficult time, and I won't be judged for that, but we can still enjoy each other's company. In addition to that, I will say when I was home in the U.S., it was so difficult to see how the world was perceiving COVID, how Black people were being treated, let's just say in Guangzhou, you know, being taken out of their homes, you know, raided, corralled. And I know the media tends to have a slant, but where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And so just making sure to stay connected to my friends that were here. And since I've been back in China, I cannot say that I've been treated any differently than before. It's more still just a veil of mystery.
A veil of mystery. So how so?
Oh my goodness. That's a loaded question. You know,
Your hair is
the stairs. Right, my
We
hair
talked
is
about
long
this.
today. My hair might be short in a month.
Yeah.
It might be a whole nother color. You never know what I choose. And so it's just the stairs. I have a real issue with feeling like I'm a spectacle. And so the stairs or the unsolicited recordings and pictures and it's so funny because someone was telling me how they were getting on an elevator and a local individual got on the elevator and just started screaming. I was like, you lying. And I'm like, okay, wherever the virus generated from is neither here nor there because it's here, right? Just behave with some humanity, right? You know, stop judging.
Yeah, well,
It's frustrating. So I don't have all the answers. I just know that that's why I think it's really important to be connected to people that help you to feel seen in a good way that you can unabashedly share what you think, how you feel, your frustrations, your celebrations, because this world is moving very quickly and there's a lot that's outside of our control. Like, I was hella stressed yesterday with the whole possibility of being on lockdown. Now, I love myself. I don't mind spending time by myself when I choose to. But not knowing, feeling like there's just this impending Geppetto, right? That is manufacturing all of this, and I don't know what it looks like, when it's gonna happen. Am I gonna be prepared? It's just really created like a really deep, trenched uncertainty around a lot of things. And so I think being able to be in community with good people that you trust, is a way to feel grounded. I didn't even answer the question. I don't know. I think so.
Let me just piggyback on something you said, Kindall. The part of, like, you know, people having the impression that, you know, we brought the virus or whatnot.
Yeah.
China, I mean Beijing specifically, because we're here. It's such a massive city, and I've been here long enough to understand the whole environment, at least understand some of it. There's so many dimensions to a person from China, and everybody outside thinks it's just this small, like, China, but it's so varied. In my compound alone, I have 2 buildings in my compound. 2 buildings only. I will go from, like, this was in 2020, 2021, to someone being in the elevator with me, stepping to the side, or getting off a not their floor to get away from me. Then I will be in the elevator with somebody that they'll asking me questions like, why do Chinese people think that this happened you brought this virus? This is the same building. And I would go for the same local people asking me different questions from the same perspective. And that is what China is. So people have this illusion that, like, or at least Western media tries to streamline it into such a specific pinpoint. This is this. China is this.
Yeah.
China's a massive, massive nation that has very people that some of them are curious, some of them are judgmental, some of them are prejudiced, some of them are sweet, some of them are evil. They all exist like everywhere else. Right. But I feel like they bucket it in because it's such a monolithic place. And it's not fair. I understand why the media does it, because, you know, time is time. But
and it's also just really easy to do.
Yeah, because
who's gonna push back?
Exactly. But I've been here for 18 years, and I have had maybe 1 or 2 racial altercations, and on both instances, Chinese people helped me against other Chinese people to the point of beating them up. Like,
wait,
blood.
what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, literally in San Antonio. The first one is in San Antonio. This was in 2006.
What happened?
And this guy approached, because me and my free buddies from Dominica, we were drinking in the bar street. And these guys are drunk. They came up on me like, you guys are blah. You black guys are coming to take all our girls.
Yeah, y'all aren't the ones.
Yeah. And decided to, like break bottles and attack us. And then they were in the same bar with those drunken guys. Another sort of Chinese guys came and defended us. And beat the other Chinese guys up. When the cops came, they told the cops we were in the station together. The other guys got arrested, and we explained everything. Then we ended up having a beer with the cops. So I've seen all the dynamics. I've seen all the dynamics. In 2007, I got kind of kidnapped.
What?
For
That's not a. You don't just like.
trauma therapy.
That's a whole other podcast.
He's
don't
gonna,
just,
he's
like,
gonna come
sort
to
of
you later,
bypass.
Kindall. Like,
That's a
let's
whole
unpack
other
this.
episode.
That's
Right.
Oh my god.
That's a whole other podcast.
You don't casually drop
Kind of
that.
got kidnapped.
Kinda.
Or why go and napped, and you know, and people
sick of
come and
him.
help. People helped us from the community we were in South China. They came and helped us. They beat up our captors. It's a whole thing. So I've had both sides of the coin, and I will end it here until the next episode.
Oh my god, right, because there is gonna be one.
Love the cliffhanger.
Free,
Yeah,
you don't
that
have nothing like that,
cliffhanger.
do you? Did you get kidnapped?
Who, me?
Did you get kidnapped?
No.
Okay.
It was a good time. No,
It was a good time.
I can laugh about it. I can laugh about it now. But it
Friend.
yeah, it was, and there was a Bahamian with us.
Got me over here stressed out.
So you got a Bahamian kidnapped too?
Yeah, it was me, a Bahamian, a guy from Mali, my girlfriend at the time was from Dominica, and two Chinese guys,
Lord.
and our driver and his wife.
Wow.
My God.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a whole
Ooh,
thing. That's a
wow.
whole thing.
That got me
Intense.
a little exciting.
That was just too much.
Kidnapping casual story dropped right in. All
It
right.
was like 6 days of insanity.
Wait,
stop talking. Stop talking.
More than one
'cause-
day?
Right.
Next question.
Wow,
No.
Shaggy, we gotta come back to that at some point. You cannot just leave
Right.
that.
That's like the epilogue.
Yeah, y'all got questions.
Ay, Dios mío.
All right.
y'all
I
got
mean,
questions.
okay, all right. So,
I got media
How do
training.
I-
Dr. Shannon.
Right. How do I follow
Yeah.
that
How
up?
would you answer this question?
Oh my goodness.
okay.
What was the
we-
question again?
COVID. What's been happening the past 2 years?
Kidnapping. I don't
Right.
know.
Kidnapping. Yes. So when you asked the question, I really immediately went to. I actually both of their answers minus the kidnapping. Sort of, I guess, answered for me. So one thing for me, especially with my relationships, I have had to be more intentional because I am an introvert and I enjoy my own time more than I enjoy time with anybody else. And it doesn't mean that I don't love my friends. It doesn't mean that I don't enjoy their company. It just means that literally no matter where I am, I would prefer to be at home. No matter how much fun I'm having, I would prefer to be at home. And I could lean into, like, I was on a partial lockdown in 2020, not a full one, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed not, I enjoyed having the excuse of, I can't leave my house. I'm sorry, y'all. You guys go on without me. But I could not stay like that, especially with being in new spaces because of, like what happened with my job and everything. And meeting new people. Like, I'm also the kind of person where, we could meet at an event and have a really good time, exchange WeChat information, and then I will never speak to you. You may message me and say like, hey, what's up? And we'll talk for maybe a couple of minutes or even that day. And then after that, and it's not that I'm trying to ignore you.
Right.
There may be sometimes where you pop into my head, but maybe I'm doing something else. And so I don't go to my phone and send out a message. And if I don't do that right then beloved, as we say in the Bahamas, dog eat your lunch. Like that's it. Right. And so.
Yeah, some people have a big problem with that. Like,
yes.
And as soon as I know you have a problem with that, we're not supposed to be friends anyway.
Well,
I take the different approach. I do for some people. Like, I try, because I know that, like, there's one person that I met. I met through going to the Van Gogh exhibit, because that was the first time I met her. And she'll send me a text every so often and just be like, morning, just checking in, how are you doing? I'm like, okay, this is a thing for you, so I'm going to try. Now, Shannon ain't gonna do it every day. Shannon ain't gonna do it every week. But, like, if there is a moment where you're on my mind, I'm going to try to be as intentional as possible to pick up my phone and send you a message like, hey, I'm just checking in. And even if our conversation only lasts 5 minutes, then I know that I've done something that feeds into your love language as a friend.
Right.
And so I think that's one of the ways that COVID has helped me in nurturing my relationships, especially with people at home, because I haven't been able to go home in, 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
And people always ask, like, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? I don't know, sis. Because if I come back, I can't get back into shop. And this is my livelihood.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to leave this yet. Yeah. And so it means that I have to schedule those video calls. When my family says, hey, we're doing Sunday dinner at like 2:00. Will you be awake? Of course I won't. But I can be. Is that something that you would like? Yeah. I can wake up at 1-2 in the morning on a Monday and talk to you. And
you are so sweet.
Well,
that's but she's learned that that's what she needs.
Wow.
Right.
Like, for me, my family back home is quite, like, from blood perspective, it's massive. But my family that I actually care about is tiny.
Your chosen family?
Yeah, it's my mom, my dad, and my 2 brothers. And if I ain't talking to them, then I ain't talking to nobody. Unless you reach out and it's important. Like, I have probably like 60 messages on WhatsApp right now that are from months ago and I haven't replied.
I do not like people.
Listen,
like
I need
at least clear them.
No, and it's
at
not.
least
It's
clear them.
It's not like some of them I plan to reply and some of them I haven't yet because I'm busy. But mass of them are just random, retarded, repetitive questions. Oh, how are things in Beijing?
Probably because you didn't answer the first
No,
question.
nobody have asked this before. Many times, and it's the same question.
That's why I started
over
the
and
blog.
over again. And then the
You're
big
like, here's my link.
the big
Check it
Caribbean
out.
question is like, so how can I get this?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my! I'm
I hate me
like,
too.
bro, I am not Amazon.
That's not your business, right?
And then
That drives
there are
me
few
nuts.
people that I consider friends, and I actually take the time to give you detailed information, and then you're like, okay, I'll make an order, and then they never get back to you.
Oh, so that's
And then they reply
waste
you
of time.
8 months later.
Yeah.
So how's COVID? That's what. So these small, maybe 6 people, they kill it for the next 20. I'm sorry, because I ain't got time for this. I got enough to do.
Nah,
So-
that's. I mean, that part though is real to you. I actually, anybody that asks me like, "Hey, can you find this for me? Like, you're in China, find this, find that. Can you send this? How do I? I don't
sourcing
know,
agent.
beloved. I'm here as a teacher. I can't help you with nothing else.
I'm
like
a sourcing agent.
right? I don't. I
know
do
for
not
Alibaba.
know. Right. I know how to get from my home to my job, from my home to my church, and from my home to these restaurants. That is all that I have
Listen,
for you.
facts.
You need to Google it because I cannot help you. I cannot. But for the other people,
Gotcha.
just genuine relationships, I have tried to reach out a little bit more, and because I mean, with my family, as much as I love them, and like my parents and my siblings, I don't talk to them very often. It'll be a couple of days before my family and I speak, and so even trying to do like a random call or something, just to say hey or send a video, say like, hey, you can see my face, you can hear my voice. Trying to do that a little bit more. So
Yeah, for sure.
I do the house errands call. I put the phone on and I'm just doing stuff.
just walk around the house.
Yeah.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
listen to me do stuff.
That's what my
Yeah.
mother does with me.
They feel like they're there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you guys, so we've covered a lot of different things and just like perceptions, communities, building communities. I know, Kindall, you've got to take off in a little bit.
Yeah.
So specifically, do you have any kind of final thoughts on like what you're up to this point, and since COVID started and Black and Abroad and everything, any kind of final thoughts and things you'd want to leave for our listeners now?
What would I say? I would definitely say use this time wisely, where you get the opportunity to learn yourself, who you are, who you like to be, what works for you, what doesn't, and who your people are. We've given through this forced solitude, which may be coming again. I think while as challenging as it is, it gives us a golden opportunity to really do some deep dive into how to live our best lives and how to create healthy communities and really take care of ourselves in different ways. And so taking the time to utilize this time wisely, love yourself, take care of yourself, prioritize your mental health, stay connected to community, be intentional, and find out what works for you. This city, as challenging as it can be, as lonely as it can be sometimes, especially in a dating sense, there's so much to offer if you seek it, right? Nothing's going to fall in your lap. That's just not how the world works. But I would say find what really drives you and go for that thing. Really focus in, hone in on what's going to help you to live the best life possible, and make sure that your circle of friends, your constellation of care is going to embody you. Y'all know that's my word. I found that on an amazing podcast, Dr. Byron McClure, Healing Center Conversations. Check it out. Just now, see you. I done had this Sauvignon Blanc.
She was on a roll, and you
in it.
She was going.
I was.
She had such a determined,
Oh my
focused look on
God,
her
oh my
face.
God.
I
Obama
wish
just
y'all
dropped
could have
the mic.
seen
Look,
her.
Michelle Obama.
Constellation
Michelle
of
Obama.
care.
To finish.
Specifically.
I'm sick of y'all.
I just want people to love the skin that they're in.
Come on.
And engage in spaces that help to edify and heal and just grow them in this sense. Like, this is a very scary time that we're living in, but it doesn't have to be all-encompassing, frightening. So really being intentional with healing and building community, and what can you create out of the time that we're given. And that doesn't mean you got to be on the grind. You got to do what everybody else is doing. That's not what I'm saying. It's really identifying what do you need to be your best self at this point, and lean into that and do it with all your might. So I hope I answered that question.
I got a quick question for you, though.
Go for it.
Did you practice your voice?
No.
You got this, like, calm
I'll be trying
voice.
not to sound like a frog.
No, you have this voice that's so soothing.
It's very
I'm listening
velvety.
here and I'm like, you never put on the
very
calm
velvety,
app and you want to relax?
Listen, can you
Calm app,
speak that?
holla.
Because I am
Yes.
trying to.
No, for real.
put
Like,
it into. I don't believe in the universe, Lord.
Come on.
it's not now, but when before.
That
we
is
were
on my
speaking,
vision
it was
board.
super, super. I was falling asleep, like real loud, like ooh.
In a good way.
In a good way. Like,
Good way.
my soul was like,
Oh, come on.
Are you being
Wait.
funny with me right
I
now?
am not.
No, it is
Word.
a very, I can confirm.
Very soothing.
It's not my
Retweet.
wine voice.
Retweet. It is
I don't know.
It is a very.
No,
If
it's a
it
great
is,
voice.
drink
it's a great
more.
voice. Even when I was
Like-
watching your YouTube videos before, I was like, "Oh, it's a nice voice."
Like,
Y'all don't
Like,
know how I
it's
be like. Do I
velvety.
sound like the dude right now?
No.
Did I just wake
No.
up?
no,
You
that was
know?
a vibe.
nice.
You got a whole
Is it
lot
my
cam,
allergies?
whole lot cam or whatever the other app is, and be like, hey, you need my voice.
Yeah.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
this
Okay,
is-
I'm not very
Read them
good at
some
accepting
stories.
compliments.
Yeah.
I'm going. I love you should read my story time on Saturday on my YouTube. I
Okay.
read books to kids.
Yes.
You know I used to
Word.
be an English teacher.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So sadly, Kindall has left us now, but we've still got Dr. Shannon and Shagi here. So let's just end this episode with how have your experiences been dating in China? Okay, how about you, Dr. Shannon? You have an episode actually called, like, I think it's Finding a Beijing Bae. So can you update our listeners? Like, what has that been like, and have you found a Beijing Bae?
Girl, I have not. So that was season 1, episode 1. Where's my Beijing Bae? Season 2, episode 1 is Beijing, B-A-E, Jing, or bust, and it was definitely a bust. I wish that I could say that my dating life has been as easygoing as Brother Shaggy. However, it has not been. It is difficult for me as a plus size Black woman in Beijing trying to find somebody who is of good quality, and especially with me being a Christian, like, there are lines that I have crossed that, you know, I look back and I'm just like, it wasn't worth it. And yeah, it's been difficult navigating that space. There was one guy that I met and we dated for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months. And it was cool, you know, and I was on my abstinence tip, and I told him, and he was like, do you know what that means? And I said, yes, I absolutely do know what it means. You are free to not, like, you don't have to pursue a relationship with me. You can go about your merry way. I'm just letting you know right now, like, don't expect. And he was like, no, I still want to try, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. You know, we went on dates and we talk, and I'm not a huge phone person. I would rather you text me over anything else, but I did phone conversations, video calls. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'm liking this person. And this was back in 2019. We met Chinese New Year, so the beginning of February. And he's from one of the countries in Africa, and he had to go back home for a wedding. It was not his own, because that could have been a possibility.
That's a red flag.
Right. It was not his own. And he said that he was going to come back in like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. And I'm like, we have to talk while you're there, because if not, you know, like, you going to come back and I'm going to be married with kids, white picket fence, and a dog. Like, we have to talk. He's like, yeah, we will. And we did for maybe the first week or so, week and a half. And then just did not respond to messages.
Radio
Just
silence.
gone. Ghosted.
Ghosted.
And I said that was what, 2019? Maybe a month and a half ago in 2022. he tried to add me on WeChat.
He's
And I was
back,
like,
he's back.
I'm like, what is this? Is Mercury retrograding? Like, what are we doing? And he added me, and I'm like, why are you here? He's like, hey,
What are we doing?
I lost my phone when I went back home, and had your. I was like,
No.
wow. I said, you realize it has been 3 years.
He lost his phone for 3 years.
I'm like, are you okay? Do you need therapy? Because I have a friend. Like, what? And he was like, yeah, that's how long it's taken me to get back to you. I've been trying to get back to you. I said, you know what?
No.
I'm not actually doing this again. You be well. Have a great life, sir. God bless you. Goodbye. And that's just a small fraction of what my life has
So
been.
Nathan's over there, and he just said maybe he got kidnapped, like really kidnapped, not like half kidnapped like Shaggy, but like
Not kind of.
really kidnapped. Maybe he was kidnapped.
You know what? Maybe.
Wow.
And if so, that should have been the first thing that my man said. He should have told me from the jump, hey, look, I was kidnapped. They stole my phone. They just gave it back to me.
I mean, the audacity of contacting you after 3 years.
What is the purpose?
I'm trying to think of
know.
why.
But it's like those people though, like after somebody ghosts you or you've been dating, but then you stop or whatever, and then they still watch your Instagram stories. You're like,
He
people
actually
do that, you
no,
know. So
he
you're like, why
did.
are you here in this space? You don't want to text me
you're
back, but
right.
you're gonna watch my Instagram stories.
Because he did that. He had my actual phone number. Because, like, nobody has your phone number. You just have WeChat. So he had my actual phone number. And I had switched over my number to WhatsApp. And I saw, like, going through, looking to see who viewed my stories. And he viewed it. I'm like, how dare you, sir? Watch my story. I thought you were dead.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, what was his end game?
I don't know.
Because that's to
It's
be
not
like
a very good
to
game
be like
at all if
in
he's
your
playing a
black
game.
book, right? In your black book, and they're like, last contact 2019. Yeah, she might still be
It's gonna
keen.
work. Yeah.
She might still be keen. Let's holler.
This is gonna work.
Let's see what she has going on.
That takes a lot.
No.
Like
Yeah.
he was hoping like you'd pick up the phone and be like, "Oh, boo!
Absolutely not.
I've missed you.
Absolutely
Let's go."
not. Absolutely.
Like in his head, that was the
not.
imagination running wild.
I don't care how dry the dock is. Please, please, I beg, leave me alone.
That's wild though. Like,
But that's really just been. That's like the microcosm of what my dating life here has been. I've had some good dates. I've had a guy, like we went out the week of my birthday last year, and I was, like happy. It was my birthday. I'm having a good time. Go out with this guy, and we have dinner. It was really nice. And, by the end of the night, he was like, all right, like I have to go. He had a dog that he had just adopted. Had to go let her out, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. My birthday party was on the Saturday, so we went out on the Wednesday. My birthday party's on the Saturday. My actual birthday is on the Saturday. Thursday, I think we talked, and then nothing. Like Thursday morning, we talked and we checked in, like, how are you doing, blah, blah, blah. Nothing the rest of the day, nothing on Friday. And so I'm like, all right, let's see if he tells me happy birthday on Saturday, because I invited him to the party. Nothing on Saturday. It was like after 10 on Saturday. He texted me. He's just like, hey, how are you? I was like, hey, I'm good. At my birthday party. How are you? And that's when because he was recently divorced, and we'd already talked. He said that he wasn't looking for anything serious. I'm like, all right, I just want to get my feet wet in terms of dating. And he said something about his ex-wife's family, some kind of drama, and then he went on like a bender and was sort of like blackout drunk. And I was like, this sounds fun. I'm gonna pass. You be well.
Do your thing, and
Yep.
I'm gonna be over here.
Yep, I'll be in this corner. You go over there and
Yeah, fair.
go with God.
Fair.
Yep.
Yep. It's like that boundaries thing you're talking about.
Yes.
You're like, okay.
Yep.
This is
Yeah.
no.
It does not fit. It does not serve me.
Yes.
It does not serve the life that I would like to live. And that's okay. That's fine. We do not need to be. You don't need to have access to me.
as I said earlier, like most of my close friends here and before I came here are female. And yeah, the dating pool here for the female and then subset that to the black female, I've heard many stories.
The pool got pee in it.
Yeah, it turned blue.
All right. It got pee in it.
But like, yeah, I've heard 18 years of stories. I have stories. And like, I can't relate from my perspective, but the amount of stories I've read, I'm like, okay, this is real.
Yeah, it is.
And
as unbelievable as some of the things sound, like it is, they happen.
Yeah, I've heard some stories.
I'll save all of my stories, but
ooh, yeah, I think we've got to come back and do a whole other episode about all of these stories, and especially when we're talking about like just your own experiences, and also being Christian. Like when I came, I was part of a very Christian church as well. I think the religion aspect with dating in China is like another thing.
Yeah,
there are so many
that's a
filters
whole
that go
other
into
complexity.
dating and
It's a
trying to
headache.
find somebody that you can connect with. That you're like, oh my god, the dating pool is already so small, and now I've got to find somebody to hit this like narrow dart of what I'm actually looking for with my standards, my values, my goals in life. Like it's a lot.
yep.
It's got to be
Sister Mary Shannon.
Yeah, it's got to be. I was raised Catholic, but I'm not from a very like religious family, so we're not like strict or anything. So religion has never been a factor of my life until I would say 5 years ago when I converted to Muslim, and that was primarily for my wife. And I'm still learning about the faith, and I'm still not super religious, but I'm learning about the faith and learning about it's just me tapping into different cultures and religions and learning about it. But yeah, so I woman, melanated, Christian,
Ciao.
like you said, plus size. Yeah, there's no pool.
No,
it's like a
it's
sippy
not.
cup.
I was about to say because it's not even a puddle.
Yeah,
it's not.
like a,
It's the broken tap.
yeah, like drop.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
But I had a friend of mine that I met. She was from Virginia and she was here studying, learning, teaching English. And she came here and she, plus size, black girl. Actually, she's half Vietnamese, half black. And she came here to work and she was the same. She's like, oh my God, it's a sippy cup. There's no guys, blah, 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 blah. And she ended up getting married. She went back to the States and met a guy from Beijing.
Oh, wow.
And they got married. I know they have 2 kids.
Wow.
And
Well,
then
so
they
I gotta
came back
leave again.
They came back to Beijing.
Gotta move somewhere else again.
Met the family, and the family was like, "Oh my God, cool." And they're living back in the States, but yeah, she left Beijing to meet a Beijinger,
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy.
and he had
That is a
just
weird
moved
world thing.
to the States like under a year before,
Wow.
Wow.
and he was like, "You are my ideal woman," and like,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah,
Lord, I've seen what you've done for others.
Show me the way.
Please.
Yeah.
The way of the truth. Yes.
Please.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys, this has been amazing. I feel like we've
yeah.
discussed all kinds of things.
Yes.
And there's even more that we
Yes.
need to get into
Yeah.
another time.
I mean, if the
But-
floodgates, if this was rum, it would be another night.
Keep going.
You're lucky this is just grape juice.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. And Shaggy, this is your 3rd time, so we're gonna
Is
get
it?
you some free. Yeah.
Oh, snap.
wait. You
Whoa.
need to come back for a 3rd time.
Okay,
This is your 2nd time.
it's my second time.
So your 3rd time. Nathan says if you come back a 3rd time, you can get a free DNC teapot and a pack of condoms. If you want that.
No need for the condoms,
He's gonna have a baby soon, so
but the teapot, cool.
we're just gonna get you a lot of coffee and
I
and
mean,
caffeine.
I'll take the condoms. I'll give it to someone.
Okay, fair
I'll
enough.
pass them along my
Your gift
neighborhood and
to your
stuff.
brother.
Fair
He
enough.
doesn't.
Oh,
he
all
got-
right.
No, we don't need to go into that.
All right.
I
More
don't-
stories for another time.
Yep.
Yes.
I don't. That's not. Yep.
All right. All right.
That's not anybody's business
All
in
right.
this room.
And
yeah.
Dr. Shannon Evans, thank you for coming back. Definitely take a listen to Brown Girl in Beijing and also Kindall's Black and Abroad series. And if you're in Beijing, go visit Larry the Bird.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had some the other day. It really was
Oh,
so good.
it's so
Like
good.
I have to get more.
Block party this weekend, Saturday and Sunday,
Nice.
all afternoon. Come by,
you gonna be
DJ,
there?
special deals. If my baby is not born, I will be there.
Okay. And if the baby's born, you'll be there with the baby.
No,
Okay.
but I'll be there in spirit.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.